Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Memo bibiara kwaba eba PENDREAM TV. Say we new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell no so. Like ejumadi na share ma afofron so ensa enkebi. Na emra na NPP epe tumino. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia eka esembi say omoba abaima the economy will grow and grow and grow. Now we will have jobs and jobs and jobs. Enyuma ebebuso ewo omai Ghana. Enye ononko afenso no John Boadunsu edebeto just say eye enyuma asem na ye kam. Eye NPP amanyuku no ebema enyuma abusu. Anase ombe kreti enyuma ama emabunu ne Ghana manfo. To the extent say yebe import anase yebe kra manfo afri ama hodo so aba beye ejuma ne bi ewo Ghana ha. Now, one of the initiatives omo implemented yes omo de ba be create enyuma and afen so no enuane e wo Ghana ha PFJ and as a planting for food and job. Now, eneno actor Lewin e de expose bi abetudwa. Yeah, it is linked with planting for food and jobs in sensem ya okay. Now, Johnny Hughes are reacted to ensema actor Lewin e de abetudwa. Me pesa obeka me hone yakotie ensema actor Lewin edebetudwa ana afen so no Johnny Hughes the reaction efa eye video actor Lewin edebetudwa no eye PENDREAM TV ye the political news ni ensema hodo a etwagu ewo Ghana ene ede bro send the voice note efa number ya eda o screen so no ebe publication wo PENDREAM FM ama afofro ate wonka na eho no ye jewa dwenkyere efa ensema ekoso ewo omai Ghana Kameho na yentie video actor Lewin ede abetudwa. Ene TV3 Johnny Hughes na reaction efa eye video Lewin ede abetudwa no.
Play actor Lewin's video for me. You know, actor Lewin of Kumawood was one of the few people who was also weaponized against the previous government. Well, later he came to say that some of the things that he said were lies. He himself came to say it, that some of the things that he said were untrue. But today, reality has hit home. Listen to him.
I swear to God, Accra, Ghana, Kumasi, Coco, ACDs, Coco ACDs, Coco ACDs, Obi and Mr. Gago, Coco and Greg, one CD, another 2 cities, Accra, Coco, and Finger. ACDs, Adenta, Adenta, make a cow, I got a cow, ACDs, and I make cow, like a cow, the other 40 cities, and do go back, and I go back, Coconut ACD, and I go back, I'm 2 million, Governor, oh my God, you know, oh my wedding, minimum that with the Jacopo, oh my wedding. Hey, I swear to God, Accra, Ghana, Kumasi, Coco, ACDs, Coco ACDs, Coco ACDs, Obi and Mr. Gago, Coco and Greg, one CD, another 2 cities, Accra, Coco, and Finger, ACDs, Adenta, Adenta, make a cow, I got a cow. ACDs, and I make cow, like at the cow, the 40 cities, and do go back, and I go back. Coconut ACD, and I go back, I'm 2 million. Governor, oh my God.
So, where is the food that we planting for food and jobs? Because maize was one of the cocoa. I mean, you use maize to do cocoa, you use millet, right? Sorghum, all those things to do cocoa. So, the food that we're supposed to have planted using planting for food and jobs as the vehicle, and all the monies that we spent over 600 million every single year on planting for food and jobs, and with all the Amadan campaign that the man who now wants to be president did, where is the food? We have also brought planting for food and job chapter 2. And we are hoping to pump some more money just like we did in the tree planting exercise that we can't find the trees that we planted. Where is the food? Where is the food? Where is the food? Because Lil Wayne and many others, including Addo himself, were weaponized to tell us that buying a ball of kenke at 1 cedi was too expensive. And that when it comes, the price will be beaten down. Alai? Today, how much is a ball of kenke? Do your kenkenomics. How much is fish? How much is a ball of kenke? How much is a ball of bofrot or kose? How much is it? And I'm saying that all the things that are used to prepare these things are found on the list for planting for food and jobs. So we should bring the people who said they did planting for food and jobs. We should look at how much money we spent. We should look at the jobs that they say they have created. And then we should look at the yields and the harvest and the production. And then we ask them, where did you keep the food? Such that cocoa is now selling at 8 Ghana cedis. Cocoa, which used to be 70 pesos, 40 pesos, 60 pesos, 1 cedi, is now selling at 8 Ghana cedis. Cocoa, one egg is now selling at 2 cedi 50 pesos. And when you make the argument, people say, oh, but go outside. Those when they go outside, I have traveled outside. I have seen. And I have seen how the taxes are used. A whole city and a whole province has free Wi-Fi for the people to use. We said we're going to give university students Wi-Fi to use. It is even a problem. So the tax mobilization and the tax utilization, there's always that space in between that has not been filled, that has not been answered. He was weaponized against the previous government. He came later to say some of the things he said were not correct or not accurate. Today, reality has hit him. He's talking about the price of cocoa.
Some regions and as some areas in the Volta region, a bit to say Mepe, ne areas Ahodua Aka was affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage. And then Johnny Hughes are reacted to Sa and Sensemia Ekoso Ewo social media. Yeah, or expose the NPP propaganda. Afin so no Osanche say Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo manage Ghana. Tesania or manage Neboto Musika. And some way ne and some Mahudo Bina or Kafa Akosombo Dam spillage and home. Mepesa become Honea Kotie Senia Johnny Hughes Ekan and Sam.
Now, I also asked the question about what was trending. And one of the videos that somebody sent to me was a compilation of government spokespersons, or if you like, party spokespersons speaking on behalf of government, trying to ask for applause because they have started to wake up to smell the coffee of the plight of the people in the Mepe and surrounding areas because of that ill-thought-out dam spillage that happened by the VRE. And I asked a senior colleague of mine at the Institute of Public Relations, I said, Chief, maybe I'm too young. I may not have had the years of experience that you have. But in crisis management, that is when you have failed to manage the issues and you get into crisis management, do you pause in the middle of crisis management to ask for applause? Because that's the tone I get. You put together a team, and you know, it took us so long to put together a team. And when I saw the team, I said, this team looks like the Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng Interministerial Committee that was set up to investigate Galamsey, which Godfrey Dami says there was no evidence. And the GJA has said that we give the award to Erastus Asare Donkor for looking out for Galamsey. And so the GJA disagrees with the Attorney General on the Galamsey fight. When I saw the list, I said, this list looked like the MPs and the ministers who abandoned Professor Frimpong Boateng on the Galamsey fight because they themselves, as Prof said, had found themselves in the Galamsey menace themselves. When I saw the list, I said, look, this looks like a replica, but I digress. Can you think how long it took our government to put together a team? In crisis management, the first step is to put together a team. The second step is to assess the risk. The third step is to have a plan. The fourth step is to put together the plan and make sure that the plan is working. The fifth step is to reinforce the plan. The sixth step is to come back and do some monitoring and evaluation and then see what you can be changed about. It's a simple thing. Which part of this crisis management plan says that we should pause and ask people to applaud us? That government has done this, so we should applaud. That VRA has done this, so we should applaud. Which part of the plan says we should applaud? Then you come and tell us that we should not politicize the issues. So where's the fellow feeling? I have been to those places. Nashoko has been to those places. Roland Walker has been to those places. Gordon Asidiba has been there. Judith Brown has been there. Many of our colleagues have been there. We have seen at first hand what is happening. Some of those who are sent to come and communicate to us, to come and force us, to ask us to applaud government, have never been there. They are only regurgitating what has been written for them to come and say to us. And to come and tell us that, oh, when the president said that you even didn't vote for me, but if it came to who voted for me and who did not vote for me, I shouldn't have been here. The president speaks like that. And I've always done the analysis and thought that, look, in the Fourth Republic, President Akufo-Addo is the oldest to have ever been sworn in as president. Jerry Rawlings became president when he was just about 45. After Jerry Rawlings, there was President Kufuor, who was just a little over 60, 62 or so. Then came President Mills, who was also a bit over 60. Then came John Mahama, who was about 50-something. Then came Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who was over 70 when he was sworn in. And you know, in our home, when somebody is 70 and above, you expect that a certain tact and diplomacy and some maturity approaches it. What was the president's business saying that to the chiefs there and using his left hand? And maybe you have not noticed it. When the president is speaking to chiefs of other tribes, he uses his left hand. Remember the Gamancheme and the National Theatre, the National Anthem saga, when he was ordering Henry Quarter, he used his left hand. Remember I was talking to Togbe Fiti, he used his left hand. Remember when I was talking to this new chief, he used his left hand. Have you ever seen the president address his own people using his left hand before? I said the president is the only man who got in after he had turned 70. He was the only one who had fulfilled scripture, 70. So you expect a certain kind of leadership from him. And the painful part of the whole conversation is how the blame have been lifted from the VRA and those who are supposed to have taught well as engineers and has been put on the people that, oh, we tried the stimulation exercise and the people failed to move. They failed to move where? Did you provide alternative accommodation for the people to move? Did you provide alternative accommodation? There have been calls for you to relocate the people to Saglemi. You are reluctant to do that because you are politicizing the issues. And then you come back and tell us you are not politicizing the issues. I saw at first, and somebody showed me a TV when we went there, when I went there with Nash. Somebody showed me his TV, said, this is the TV I used to watch Johnny's Bite on. The TV was gone. The whole building was gone. Buildings had collapsed. I saw it myself. Nobody typed it for me to come and read it. Nobody put me on a party platform to encourage me to go and say A, B, C, and D and choose my thought patterns for me. I said I don't have a sense of my own. They're joking with people's investments. I showed you Honorable Kenjirase's place. We are joking with people's businesses, people's livelihoods. And we are politicizing it because it inures to our benefit, because we have the platform, because we are far away from those places. And we here as Media General are mobilizing support. And I'll use this opportunity to call on businesses and chief executives and top executives, private businesses, individuals. And this morning already, since I came in around 5, I've seen a lot of people drop clothing and water and other things. This was, I was in the water myself. I saw it myself. I experienced it at first hand. Which part of the crisis management procedure or process says that in the middle of solving the crisis that could have been prevented if we had managed the issues well, we should pause and ask that people applaud government? What kind of warped logic is that? What kind of insensitivity is that? What kind of inhumane treatment is that? In other countries where they have their heads properly screwed on their necks, when their president sees that his people are in turmoil and in pain, he stops the trip and comes to the people. Our president didn't. He went all the way, finished the whole trip, came down wearing jacket as if he was in winter, only to talk to the people, using his left hand and telling them that if he came to people who voted for me, he will not be there. As if he is running the presidency with his pocket money or some inheritance that his father left for him. The people are in pain. The people are in pain. And we cannot continue politicizing some of these things because it hurts. You have put people in classrooms. You have not provided alternative accommodation for them. You say you did the stimulation exercise. Stimulation exercise only stops and tells people you have to move. Move and go where? Then you put them in classrooms that are not boarding houses where they have no places of convenience. You put them in hot tents When you have facilities there that are rotting away. Are you serious? Those schools in the bushes that you have abandoned, the E-blocks that you have abandoned, that have toilet and bathroom facilities, what are you doing with those ones? Then you come and tell us that we should not politicize the issues. Who began the politicization of the issues? Who is asking for applause in the middle of fighting crisis? Who? Look at yourself well. Who? What has been the approach of the interministerial committee that has been put out? And suddenly that you're hearing figures. Oh, we have put together 20 million. We have put together this. We have put together this. So we are quantifying the things and banding figures about to make it look as if we are doing so much. Boss, take your time and go and feel the pain of the people. When they send you those talking points on your phone as a party communicator, take your time. 1 weekend, go to the Mepe areas, go to those places, the north and south, go to the Volta region, go and experience at first hand. When you come back, you see that what they have typed for you to come and read, it doesn't make sense. To even begin to ask for applause in the middle of a crisis, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. If you have conscience, you won't do that. I showed you a video of South Africa. They have not declared a year of roads, second year of roads, another year of roads. Look at the quality of the roads that they were driving on. So when you are paying anything of a toll or they are charging you for taxes or whatever it is, you feel obliged to pay because the quality is good.
I swear to God, Accra, Ghana, Kumasi, Coco, ACDs, Coco is ACDs, Coco is ACDs. Obi and Mr. Gado, Coco and Greg, one CD, another 2 cities. Accra, Coco, everything, ACDs, Adenta, Adenta, make a cow, I got a cow, ACDs. As a make-out, like at the cow, the other 40 cities, and you go back, and I go back. Governor, and I go back, I'm 2 million. Governor, oh my,
and I want to remind you kindly that right after Johnny's Bites, the next 10 minutes after Johnny's Bite will be for you to have a chance at the microphone to also tell me what's happening in your communities. So please write these numbers down. You'll be live on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio, where we serve the best breakfast in the country. 055-924-2717. That's 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-691-0154. It doesn't matter where you are in this country. Just tell me what's happening in your community. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. After Johnny's Bite, when we finish Johnny's Bite, we will pick your calls. Bus lanes. So we're asking ourselves, is this Africa? It was a general conversation that we had amongst ourselves as young people. I mean, we had some senior citizens, but as young people, we're asking ourselves, so where is the pothole? Another thing that we saw was how, even though some of the buildings were very old, they had been preserved. They didn't say, oh, where the titidine has been left. And you go around the countryside in Ghana, you see very old buildings. They look very strong, but for some strange reason, they have just been abandoned to go waste. I said we were in South Africa for 9 days. We were looking for a single pothole. They had not declared the year of roads. They had not declared the second year of roads. They had not declared another year of roads. They had not voted enough money. But the roads were working. Look at the road. This was in South Africa. Look at the road. We're driving to the mall at the Canal Walk Mall. Look at the road. So when somebody said, oh, yesterday when I came back, I said, oh, I'd missed what was trending in Ghana. So what's trending? Somebody said, oh, the president took a helicopter to Krobo because the road was bad. I said, I can't believe that was what. Maybe he wanted to come to the Gamanya funeral. But this was South Africa. Anyway, we'll talk more about South Africa later in the show. I want to also salute the Ga Traditional Council. And there's nothing like Ga Traditional Council. I've heard big chiefs and paramount chiefs and elders and everybody saying Ghana Traditional Council. There's nothing like Ghana Traditional Council. It is Ghana Traditional Council. Don't teach the children wrong things. Don't say Ghana. If somebody didn't know and had called it Ghana Traditional Council, the Ghana, don't also follow and say Ghana Traditional Council. It is Ghana Traditional Council. I bet no actually Ghana Traditional Council. You more actually Ghana. Ma actually Ghana. No, I bet Ghana Traditional Council. I Ghana Traditional Council. I bet Chi Traditional Council. I Chi. I bet Ghana Traditional Council. No one you find how Cassia Nigmane Ghana Traditional Council. But now fell Mofia Monya Hene. Nake o no ye for or no e hani gan ba masheko akwa Ghana Traditional Council like mo ake Ghana Traditional Council. There's nothing like Ghana Traditional Council. It is Ghana Traditional Council. I just came to help with the education because I've heard even very big chiefs within the Traditional Council say Ghana Traditional. There's nothing like Ghana Traditional Council. It is Ghana Traditional Council. Ghana Traditional Council. So let's stick to it.
Tre, why join our comment section ho and I said send the voice note efa number ya eda screen so no ebe publish our PENDREAM FM ama sign at wonka and don't forget to subscribe to PENDREAM FM. Yeah, the yensem no beso ha. Ebe share in the next video. Background.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.